The second annual general meeting of the Semi-Governmental Executive Officers Association was held at the Sri Lanka Foundation Institute under the patronage of Ranka Disanayake, Director General of the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption.
When we talk about bribery and corruption, we all know what has happened to our country. People say these issues must be stopped, but it wasn't foreigners, whether from India or elsewhere, who came here and committed these acts. If someone took a bribe or engaged in corruption, causing losses to the government and profiting personally, it was our own people who did it. The problem is that among those calling for action against corruption, some are themselves corrupt. That's why we say publicly that we'll take action. The real challenge arises when those very individuals are asked to be held accountable.
Disanayake explained how the Anti-Corruption Act empowers authorities to prevent bribery and corruption.
The Anti-Corruption Act No. 9 of 2023 is a progressive step in Sri Lanka's fight against corruption. It is not just about investigating, prosecuting and punishing offenders. The Act includes 4 key pillars aligned with international conventions: prevention, education, institutional strengthening and legal action. No country in the world believes corruption can be eradicated solely by punishing offenders. A clear shift in mindset is essential. Recently, we entered the Department of Motor Traffic and recovered 4.1 million rupees from a deputy commissioner. That was just 1 week's collection, which was then distributed among officials. So who within that unit is going to report the thieves? Everyone knows what's happening, but no one has filed a complaint. This is the reality of corruption in Sri Lanka. In some institutions, money is pre-allocated for bribes. Officials believe it's something they're entitled to. That's how normalized corruption has become. A change in attitude is absolutely necessary.
Disanayake also addressed the argument made by some accused individuals that their actions were in service of the public.
Corruption, dooshane. Dooshane කියන වචනේ තියෙන විශේෂ වරදක් තියෙනවා ලංකාවේ.
The word corruption carries a serious offense in Sri Lanka. If a public servant knowingly causes loss to the government or gains an advantage for themselves or others using their official power or influences another official to do so, that constitutes corruption. Some claim they didn't personally benefit, but they haven't read Section 70. That's not a valid excuse.
සමහර දේවල් සමහර දැන් වැරදිකාරයෝ වෙච්ච අය ගෙදර ගෙනිච්චේ නැහැ කියලා Section 70 කියවලා නැහැ.
He clarified how certain actions taken under cabinet decisions can still fall under corruption.
අමාත්‍ය මණ්ඩල තීරණය අරගෙනත් තියෙන්නේ corrupt intention එකෙන් නම්
if a cabinet decision is made with corrupt intent, it is not legally valid. You know, there's a case against a former minister regarding pharmaceuticals. There are cabinet papers for that. There is also a case involving organic fertilizer, where Sri Lanka incurred a loss of $6.9 million. Cabinet papers exists for that too. The uniqueness of these offences is that the individuals didn't need to do anything personally. The intent behind the decision is what matters.
Disanayake offered advice to public servants on how to act responsibly.
There may be uncertainty among public servants. Will I be accused of bribery? The answer is simple. If you act with integrity, this law does not apply to you. Also, saying, I did this because the minister told me to, does not absolve you of responsibility. That's why the law includes provisions on undue influence. Many instructions are verbal, but some officials at least record them in their logbooks, noting that they were compelled to act despite knowing it was wrong. We haven't arrested such individuals. Public servants in Sri Lanka need to hear this message clearly. If you act in good faith, you are not held accountable under this law.
තමන්ගේ කිල්ලෝටවල හුණු තියෙන මිනිස්සු වෙන වෙන අර්ථ නිරූපණ දෙන්න පුළුවන්.